All right, Rob. Tonight we got a big game on starting in about a half an hour. The Knicks at the Pacers in Indianapolis. And it's game 6. Knicks up 3-2. This has been a home series, right? The home team has won all the games. And I do think, Rob, you picked the Pacers. I initially picked the Knicks in 6. I feel now like they will win it in 7.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like,
the Pacers will win tonight, or the Knicks
I think so. No? I think the Pacers get this. Rob, look, the Pacers, and I know if they lose this series, look, they can say we're the 6th seed. We weren't even supposed to take them to 6 or 7. But, Rob, and they will also say, and these are true, they will say we're young. It will be a building block for us. We had a great year. But, Rob, I got to be honest. And this is with no disrespect for the Knicks, because I respect them greatly after what they've been doing, Jalen Brunson and crew. But, Rob, if you're the Pacers, you should win this series because of the injuries to the Knicks. Obviously, they're without Julius Randle, and they have been for a while now. But Mitchell Robinson is out. OG Anunoby is out. And Jalen Brunson, is playing with at least a foot that's not 100%. I know he played great last game, but still, Rob, I'm just saying in situations like this, Rob, you should win this series. The Knicks aren't your typical 2 seed, right, where they're to be feared and their talent is above most everybody else in the league. No. And so Indiana, Rob, also, they can say to make themselves feel good, hey, we're young. Well, we'll be back. This is just the first time. We're growing from this. But, Rob, guess who's going to be around next year, assuming there aren't injuries? Milwaukee, Philadelphia.
Right.
Miami. You know what I mean? Like, this was a unique year, and that's why, Rob, quickly, Boston better win the East. Like, it's not going to ever be any easier. And, Rob, to be honest,
for the Knicks,
they're going
to win the East.
Yeah, I do too. But I'm
just
saying,
they don't win the East, like, and they got to do. They
need to be broken up.
Yeah, it's got to be a revamp. Are you kidding?
And if you're the Knicks and you win this series, Rob, I think they will give Boston some headaches.
Yeah,
I think that'll go 6.
Yeah, I don't think that they'll beat them though. No, I agree that it won't be a 4-game sweep. The Celtics just aren't of that ilk.
Right.
They just
for the Knicks to beat Boston, Rob. Boston would have to beat itself.
Right. They'd have to have like a couple of nights where they don't make threes. We saw it, Chris. What was the night that they didn't make threes?
When they lost
when you lose like that, and that's what we've seen in the postseason. I don't know. I mean, it seems like it's more than not, Chris. When those bad, we see the lopsided playoff games. We never used to see such lopsided playoff games. Would you agree with that? Like we see.
I agree.
Like last night, we didn't see games like that. We lost by 45 in a playoff game.
In a closeout,
right?
Possible closeout game. I mean, outside of the Knicks, Rob, most of these games have been blowouts, if I'm not mistaken. And again, Rob, the NBA is going to need to look at all of this stuff. Because even, Rob, in a close series where it goes 6 or 7, if let's say 5 of the 7 games are blowouts, that's not good. Even though it's competitive as a series overall, you know what I mean?
But the games are bad to watch. Like there are nights where you just turn it off, Chris, because and we've seen it. There was a Pacers blowout of the Knicks one night, right?
Yeah.
There've been a few.
Yeah, you want closer games. Look, Lakers Nuggets was actually exciting, even though it was only 5 games, because most of those games were close, relatively close. So, all right, Rob, but here's the question I want to ask you, because we had Kerry Kittles on last night. We love Kerry. Mad respect for him, but a terrible take. This take was almost as bad. Well, not really, but still. It was within, I don't know, spitting distance of the take that Caitlin Clark, who's averaging a robust 14 points in the
She would
WNBA,
do better. She would do better in the NBA. She would do better in the NBA than the WNBA. Because in the WNBA, they let them play defense. Go ahead.
Oh, stop.
Go ahead. Just go ahead. I got to say something.
Right. Carrie told us that Jalen Brunson, right now, obviously not historically, but Jalen Brunson is better than Kevin Durant. And you and I, of course, shot that down. But you got Harry Kittles talking about Brunson's better than Durant. My partner on First Things First, Nick Wright, has Jalen Brunson in Club Superstar. Others, Rob, are calling him a superstar. You and I have held fast that no.
Because Chris,
slow down.
How many superstars do they think is in the NBA? Is Donovan Mitchell a superstar?
I think Mitchell's better than
right, but we don't call him a superstar. Chris, he's a star. There's a difference between a star and a superstar to me. There's only a handful of superstars. How many guys are walking around? 40 superstars? Everybody on every team?
Well, look, there are different criteria. I think you and Rob G go about 5 or 6 deep.
Right.
I might go 10, 12 deep.
But if I go 30.
That deep, I put no. I'm telling you, I don't go deep enough to have Brunson in there.
Right.
I could go deep enough to have Mitchell in there. I think Mitchell is a superstar or better than higher on the list than Brunson. But let me ask you this. Is there anything Jalen Brunson can do this season to make you think he's a superstar?
No. Because and I'm going to just say it, not even win the championship, Chris. First, I would take a look at his path to the championship and how weak it was. I would look at that and say, This is an outlier. This is a fluke. I would. And that's no disrespect to what he did, Chris. None. I want people to understand that I'm not dissing him.
Right.
But I would look at that. Superstar status is more than just winning a championship. It just... Like, you just can't win a championship out of nowhere and then, he's a superstar and that's the end of it. It's more than that to me. It's like people look at you. No matter what, Chris, you're that guy. No matter who joins the team, no matter who's on the court. Like a lot of stuff that would go into it, not just strictly – you were on a team and they won a championship that year. Oh, yeah, you're a superstar and that's it for your career. No. When I think about superstars, LeBron, Steph, KD, like though they've won Finals MVPs, Chris.
Even as
they've won
KD's
MVPs,
losing,
right?
And LeBron's losing now. You're not taking away their superstar status.
And
Steph.
Where's the MVP that Brunson won, Chris? Like, seriously.
Yeah,
which signifies you're one of the greatest players in the league. Isn't that what MVP does?
Yeah, he was 5th this year to his credit. But look, I'm with you. I just do not feel in my bones that Jalen Brunson is a superstar. And look, if they were to somehow win this championship, beat a healthy Denver team, or Minnesota or whoever, Dallas comes out of the West, beat Boston, and he's putting up 40 or 35 to 40 a night like he has been, I mean, I would feel compelled to say, okay, but I do think, I don't know if I'd feel comfortable saying it. I might have to just give it to him because it's like, look at what he did.
Right.
But I don't know that I feel comfortable with it, Rob. And this is what it is. You remember little Isaiah Thomas, Rob, with the Celtics.
Yep.
He finished 4th in MVP voting. Or it might have been
he had a spectacular year. I remember that.
Yes, absolutely.
People thought he was going to get paid,
50 plus games. Yep. Led him to the Eastern Conference Finals. No one was saying he was a superstar.
Nope.
And my thing with Brunson, Rob, is even a year ago, he was not the best player on his team. On a mediocre team. And you can say, well, he really was better than Julius Randle. Julius Randle is the one that made the All-Star team.
Yep.
Brunson didn't. Julius Randle's the one who was 3rd team All-NBA. Brunson was not All-NBA. Rob, I can't go from you were a role player for the first 4 years of your career, never made an All-Star team in the first 5 years of your career, to all of a sudden, in one fell swoop, you're a superstar. What I would have to see from it, because I don't even think them winning the championship is realistic.
No,
I mean, again,
it's
with
just
injury,
it's just
it had to be some
hyperbole.
crazy
I'm with
injuries,
you, right?
Like, but let's say they go out in 6 games to Boston and he continues to play well. Rob, what I would have to see from him to say he's like a superstar is next season he comes out and is doing, like this year, 27, 28 points a game, 7 dimes, and the Knicks are a factor. I don't mean because everybody's hurt
Right.
in the East. I mean like they're 55 wins. Remember how Chicago was with Derrick Rose? It was like, oh, they might win the championship. Like that, the Knicks would have to be like an elite team, and he is carrying them next year for me to say, okay. And I don't even know if he does all that, Rob, I don't necessarily have to wait till the playoffs. If he was averaging 28-7, and I know people say, well, wow, those are crazy numbers. But, 27-7, something like that, leading the Knicks, the clear best player, they're 55 wins. They're on the same tier as Boston and Milwaukee and Philly when they're healthy. Like, they're right there. Then I'll say, okay, dude, look, this is the third very good year for him. Second spectacular year. He's carrying his team to elite levels. Something like that would have to happen before I'm ready to say, okay, he's grown into a superstar. But we're ways away from that.
I'm with you. I just think it's too premature, too prisoner of the moment. And I get it. You're a Knicks fan. They haven't won anything in a gazillion years.
That's a big part.
And that's a big part.
If he was in Sacramento, would people be
Chris,
saying he's a superstar?
that's what it's all about. Like, they just can't get over, like, the Knicks are relevant. It's almost June. Oh, wow. We haven't turned our focus to the Yankees yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's really what it is.
You're right. And New York dominates. I look at the talk shows, Rob, they got like Knicks commentators on the show.
No, it's big.
And of course, they're going to be like pubbing the Knicks and picking the Knicks.
And you know, New York is a basketball town, Chris. When the Knicks were good, you know that. You covered the Knicks, Madison Square Garden, the whole thing. There's no doubt about it. So people are there. They want this team to be good, and I get all that. But I'm sorry. I just think this is way overblown, and it's no disrespect to him.